Welcome, everyone, to Winning in the Shadows. Andy and Jim are breaking down UFC Vegas 106. Michael Morales and Gilbert Burns. We're jumping right into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We got no time to waste. It's late on a Thursday night. Let's get into it here. We're going to start with Luana, Pinheiro, and Tecia Pennington. Jim, to me, it's Tecia Pennington all day. I don't even really need to think about it too much. Is the handicap that simple?
Pinheiro's live in round one, and if the fight starts round two, she's a dead woman walking. It's a very binary fight.
Yeah, I
Very
agree.
binary fight. I think it's Pennington. I don't think the finishing ability of Pinheiro is there because she has to be so damn cautious about her cardio now. So we've, basically exposed her for what she is. You're going to hear all week that she's a quitter. And I know Tecia doesn't finish anybody, but I will be damned if I don't have some kind of a taste on Pinheiro fight to not go the distance. It's that
Okay.
simple with this woman. And I will give you a comparison. Victoria Leonardo. Victoria
Okay.
Leonardo was finished, I believe, in 4 of her losses.
Okay.
You could say women's fights don't end, but look, this girl quits. This girl gives up. We've just
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
it over and over again. You
two of
can't
her
get choked out by Angela Hill.
no, no,
Bad. It's
and then
bad.
beat on the feet by Jillian Robertson. Like
Beat
Jillian
on
didn't
the
even
feet. If
Jillian didn't even
Jillian wanted to wrestle, she
should have
could
been
have
up.
ended that fight. I think that was most certainly a let me work on my game kind of fight
Mm,
here with Pinheiro, which threw everybody off. I know Tecia doesn't finish anybody, but you're looking at plus 275 for fight doesn't go the distance. I think Pinheiro is on her way out. She's going to have to go for it and get a win. If she does not get this win, she's most certainly cut. And Ticia's just Tecia, man. She is a reliable Toyota Camry. You know what you're going to get from Tecia Pennington. You always have. You're going to get the same thing.
yeah, and she came back and looked fantastic after her layoff and almost beat Ribas. I mean, we bet on Ribas. We were terrified of that
Mm-hmm.
one. Then nice win against Carlos Barza. So, um, yeah, that's kind of the easy pick on that one to get it started. I did hear a great theory about something similar to the under. Is like, why is this the first fight of the night?
Mm,
Don't they normally want like like a crazy
true.
rock'em sock'em like things? Like, why is Tecia Pennington who always goes to decision all of a sudden in this one? So, anyways, that's interesting food for thought. All right, Young Sung Park and Carlos Hernandez. Park is underdog. I will say I've seen a little bit of money come in on Carlos Hernandez. What do you think about this one?
I'm not a big fan of Carlos Hernandez. I don't think he brings anything special to the table. And I think that only gets you so far. So he's had a mixed result in the UFC. Not the best level of competition. And anytime he has stepped up, it has not gone well. Alan Nascimento, no joke. Tatsuro Taira, no joke. Race Tazuri, I can never say his name.
Saruya.
Tazuria, no joke. So he's losing to the guys he should lose to, and he's beating the guys that are suspect.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, is his opponent legit or a suspect? I think Park's legit. We had talked the other week about just flat out not betting on any fighters from Asia. And I got to say, I'm not rushing to the window to bet on a fighter from Asia by any means. Not anytime soon. There's a select few. Look at these wins here. You've got Road to UFC. You've got Sunguk Choi. And there's our boy Shannon Ross,
Sure.
who everybody can finish. So I'm not ready to bet this fight yet. I will definitely lean Park because I'm just not a huge fan of Hernandez. I don't think he does anything special enough, and just a couple things go right in a fight for his opponent. He can lose the decision. One flashy shot around could beat this guy.
Yeah. I'm with you. I am a lot more bullish in this particular matchup on Carlos
Oh,
Hernandez.
okay.
These road to UFC fighters, man, it's tough to find a good one. And he beat Shan Ross, and yeah, it was fairly one sided, but took him to round two, and it wasn't that one sided in round one. He's got some chokes, but there's also a guy that was fighting 0-0 fighters, and yeah, I just think Carlos, a lot of times these road to UFC guys, they show up against an inferior or what we deem an inferior UFC opponent, and all of a sudden, oh, the UFC opponent's better. Even though they're not good in UFC, they're better than the best that's coming out of road to UFC. A lot of these Asian guys just have not been tested the way that someone like a Carlos Hernandez has. And I don't mean like, but this guy, even though he lost, he's been in the ring with Saruya and Tyra and Nascimento. So he's like, you think he's going to see anything new? that part? No, you're right. They're kind of similar in that I couldn't tell you what they do great, but we saw it last week with Lee, who was it that just really underwhelmed. Like he had the size advantage, and then the fight started, and he looked really good, and then all of a sudden round 2, you're like, and then round 3, he's gassed, and he can't land anything, and it was like this guy looked great against road to UFC fighters, but when it came down to it, it just didn't go well in the UFC. So picks Carlos Hernandez at plus money. I'll absolutely take that all day long. So Denise Gomes and Elise Reed. How do you see this fight going down?
I wanted to look at every avenue that I could to see how Elise Reed could win this fight, because Denise Gomes had a mountain of hype on her shoulders earlier this year and didn't exactly deliver. Okay.
Yeah.
She's had her moments. The loss to Angela Hill, I mean, she was all over everybody's play against Angela Hill. She's going to finish her. Blah, blah. Angie Hill just does what she does. Eduardo Mora gasses out. Decisions to split. One judge sees it the other way. And then she fights KK, who, albeit has looked decent, but is still an extremely limited older fighter who only has a few skill sets that could damage. Now, Elise Reed has no ground game to speak of. And I really thought that, is Gomes going to get the takedown? Is she going to go for the takedown? Is she going to try to swing and trade? Where I got with Elise Reed is I just don't think she has the physicality to combat Denise Gomes. And by physicality, I don't mean punching power. She knows how to strike. It's the clinch work. It's the dirty grappling. It's the up against the fence. It's going to be the elbows on the inside. Elise Reed is also prone to being cut as well. And if Gomes makes this a dirty fight, I could see her split open. Some of those 12-6 elbows that we've been seeing recently coming in. I've flipped my tune here. I think Denise Gomes gets the finish in this fight. If she tunes her up on the feet and gets her beat up and decides to go to the grappling and make a statement, she most certainly can ground and pound Elise Reed out or go for the submission. I know 2 women's fights to start the night ending inside the distance, but the hole is so glaring for Elise Reed that, I mean, I'm taking anybody who can grapple by finish against her, because I just think she's going to get exposed in this fight. Gomes needs to put a streak together, and I think this is a great jumping off point against Elise Reed. So give me Gomes. I'll check out the by finish prop. We'll see how weigh-ins go.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like even, okay, Reed, who's 42-year-old Jessica Penne, and
bad
wasn't
wasn't
awesome. I mean, she got the win, and Penne was beat up, but it gets choked out against Godinez. Jinu Frey gets choked out again. Listen, look what happens when she loses.
First submission.
Yeah, choked out, knocked out. So now
finished by Sam Hughes. I mean, it's not good.
True.
Man.
Yeah, you're
good.
right. You're right. So I'm with you, Gomes. You said it. I love how you said it. It's power. It's not strikes. It's just who's got that big time power that can overpower someone in the clinch, maybe get a takedown, get off the fence. So I agree. It's Gomes. It's Gomes for me, and I would be stunned if I would ever have a live bet on Elise Reed unless she just caught Gomes on the chin or something. I don't know. I don't even know if Elise Reed hits hard enough to really, get Gomes out of there. So Luana Santos and Tainara Lisboa. Getting all these women's fights out of the way, Jim. How do you see this women's fight going?
Public service announcement. Do not bet a side in this fight, in my opinion. I don't feel the need to have a bet on this fight. The only thing I'm interested in betting is the over 2.5. I think these women are so evenly matched. So evenly matched. The only thing that's given me reservation and why I haven't bet it is that you have fighters coming off layoffs, coming off injuries, changing weight classes. There's a lot of moving parts to this fight. I just feel there's so many better places. That being said, and tip of the cap to last week, I will have my live lines locked and loaded for this fight. Because if the judges get this wrong going into round 2, which I suspect they'll do, round 3 could be a very opportunistic live bet on who's going to eke out this decision, because I do believe it's going to decision. I think they're both evenly matched. They both have good grappling. Both have a very, very, very poor level of competition. So I can't trust the tape study. I can't trust the statistics because look who they're fighting. Would you say that both of these women are each other's toughest test?
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Who is Luana? I think Casey O'Neal's tougher. I think Casey O'Neal's tougher than Lisboa. You go back and watch that Tainara fight against Ravena Oliveira. It's rough. It's a rough watch. It is two very, very low level UFC fighters in there. And I mean, I was sitting there going, really? Lisboa won that? I'd forgotten that she had won, and then I was watching it. There were times I was like, really? She ekes this out? It was low volume.
I think I bet Oliveira live, and I was fuming at the end of that fight.
Yeah. I'm not totally convinced she won it. Anyway, it was really close, and Ravena Oliveira's, really, really not good. So, Lisboa got taken down, but she also got some takedowns. I don't trust her in the slightest. So, Luana Santos, Casey O'Neal was at least a little bit more healthy. She was one fight or at least 2 fights?
I think
2 fights
removed, right, from her surgery.
So,
that wasn't her return.
I thought Lipsky, or no, Maya.
No, it was Maya.
Maya was the return, and then she lost 2 in a row, and then she got Santos. So healthy Casey O'Neal's not, nothing to sneeze at. And
so that, I mean, she's a landslide. She's the one. I think every other fighter on the both of these, Maria Gapova, Stephanie Egger, Juliana Miller. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty
rough.
rough.
O'Neal's the outlier there. Look at that, Jenna Bishop.
She lost.
Shout out Jenna.
When Jenna was like in her second fight. So yeah, I think it's Luana Santos, but you're crazy if you think I'm betting a penny on that fight.
I'm glad we line up on that.
Yeah. Connor Matheus and Yadier DelValle go back to our write-ups from Contender Series on that night. By far best performance. Forward pressure, striking good, takedowns good, looked for submissions, good ground and pound, awful striking defense. A lot of muscle on the arms. Arms can get tired, but solid cardio, solid clinch work. Yeah, I went back and watched that fight. I was a very experienced fighter, and he really, really beat him up. And he's fighting Connor Matheus here. To me, this is simple. To me, it's DelValle by KO or by inside the distance, however you want. And I don't think it's really that close. Connor Matheus, it's been shown, is just not ready for UFC. He's not even ready to take on Dennis Mazukia and Jose Delgado. So I think DelValle is actually pretty good. He had some nasty, nasty work, especially in the clinch. And if this is a Connor Matheus who lost to Francis Marshall and went to combat zone and then still couldn't get a finish against an absolutely fraudulent Jose Farias. Remember you and I doing the research for that? We were like, who is this guy that's 10-0? You got to be kidding. But it's not gone well for Connor Matheus. I think he gets smoked. I think make it 3 for 3 on Connor Matheus losing by KO. What do you think?
I'll be damned if I don't make as much money on fading Connor Matheus before he's cut as I possibly can.
Oh, yes.
Don't care. Give me anybody. Give me almost anybody. Like, I will fade Connor Matheus' chin until he is cut from the UFC. And guys, it's not too long in the future. It could be right after this one. So we've seen these guys that we have a great read on, and we're upset when they get cut. But what gets me more mad is the fact that I don't get a chance to bet on them in their last one. So I will not lose on fading him and fading that chin. I agree with you 100%. We've just seen Connor Matheus get touched and go out. And, what is it? 2 knockouts within the span of, I think it was a year, right? He's only been in the UFC for a year.
All right, so Connor Matthews gets to the UFC. He wins in October 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Against Denise,
it's about a
too.
year. So yeah,
A little bit over a year, 2 knockouts. So that's
but now they're giving him like 2 months.
yeah, even worse.
So
So
maybe they're like, let's speed up this getting cut process because listen, they're already announcing fighters who are on the next contender series.
yes,
You
they
know how
are.
this goes. The plan is already in place to get rid of some of these guys. So you're right, man. Time is running out to fade the chin of Connor Matthews.
Yeah, I would go fight doesn't go the distance as a parlay piece and Yadier by finish. I mean, just take him by finish. I mean, I'm sure Connor could get club and subbed. Just be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah. What's Connor Matthews' path to victory? It's probably something on the ground if he gets a takedown. But we watched DelValle deal with it. We
He's
watched
fine.
him. Yeah, that's the thing. We watched him deal with it on Contender Series. So we're moving on to Jared Gordon and Thiago Moises. But real quick, guys, we do have up at Wager Talk. If you go to the experts page and scroll till you see the handsome guy in the red shirt.
There he is. Good
There he
marketing. Red
is.
shirt, stick out. Nice.
Yep. I was thinking on that one. We have our UFC Gold Pack for being serious here. Our Gold Pack. We are still the #1 MMA handicapper. We brought in 26 units
Yes.
this year. Yeah, it's going really well. We've had the lead at Wager Talk from the very beginning. We've still held on to it. No one's passed us, and we love the card this weekend. 17-8 run in April and May. And we just continue adding to this. These are the plays that we bet with our money. This is what we use to build our bankrolls and to build clients' bankrolls up. So had a good week on MMA plays. I know we lost a cross-sport parlay that had a UFC piece in there, but the straight-up MMA plays are doing very, very well for us this year. And it's not a short-term run where, they just happened to catch fire to start 2025. This has been going on for well over a year. So you got to take advantage of that. It's big fights. There's big wins and there's big profits on this card. I know it's not a sexy, pay-per-view, but what it is it's profitable. And that's what we're aimed at doing. So go ahead and take advantage of that at wagertalk.com. If you're interested in long-term, which you should be, they're running a special right now on Wager Talk. You can get $811 discount on 365 days. This is what we preach is long-term. You get all of our sports and all of our handicappers. Jim and I are just 2 of 5 on our international handicapping team. You name a sport, we've pretty much got it covered, and we're profitable in almost all of them. So up 90 units in 2023, up 127 units last year. We're already up over 80 units in 2025. So if you're interested in that, the other bonus, it comes with a coupon, 25% off for the entire year. Off of any other package, play, anything you want. So you get the 365 days, you get the huge discount, and you get a 25% off coupon for absolutely free thrown in there. So I know it's a UFC show, but our job is to make money. We do that across a lot of sports. So we want you guys to be profitable. The better off you guys do, the better off we all do as a community and as a company. So take advantage of that, guys. We have plays all the time in UFC, and they've been great this year. All right, Jared Gordon and Thiago Moises. I got a couple hot takes here, Jim. I don't know, man. I think he won against Paddy Pimblett. I know I'm the only one that says that.
The floor is yours, Mr. Lang. The floor is yours.
I don't know why Jared Gordon is the sexy pick every single time he fights, but it seems like he's the guy that everyone's like, I got a sneaky play, Jared Gordon. It's like, yeah, you and every other show, you and every other podcast, you and every other Discord, you and every other guy. But just keep in mind that he lost to Nasrat, he lost to Paddy, and his last 2 wins are over old-ass Mark Madsen, who's not in UFC.
Who retired after that fight?
That's what I mean. He retired. And then Leonardo Santos, who's not in the UFC anymore. And before that, a split against Joe Solecki. I don't get why he is the guy that everybody gravitates towards. I just don't see it, man. Thiago Moises, he looked terrible against Ludovic Klein. Then he shows up against Trey Ogden, new trainer, new vitamins, new supplements. I don't care. If he fights like he did against Trey Ogden, he's running through Jared Gordon. This might be one of those wait and see what he looks like at weigh-ins type of thing. See if he's still looking as good. His leg kicks were dialed in against Trey Ogden. They're going to be dialed in against Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon's going to try and push and clinch. And Thiago is not scared to take the fight down, work it there. I don't get the Jared Gordon love. I can't believe I'm going to be the contrarian over. And Moises is still favored, I think. So I'm going to be the contrarian on the favorite.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can look it up, but I'm just telling you, where I went back and watched that Nasrat Haqparast fight, and it was a split decision. I didn't think it was that close I didn't think it was a split decision. So is Thiago favored?
Thiago's a dog.
Thiago's a dog? Okay, I'll take
Gordon's moved to the favorite.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I will gladly sit here and say I'm wrong, and all you Jared Gordon fans were right, but I'll happily take Thiago Moises based on how he looked in his last fight. What do you think?
Well, Thiago's one of my boys. He is one of my boys. I can read a Thiago Moises fight. Hopefully, I never have to see a Thiago Santos fight. Thiago Moises is very simple to figure out, okay? If he is fighting somebody who has massive firepower coming back the other way and can outclass him in the stand-up, he is in deep, deep trouble. Deep, deep trouble. Ludovic Klein, Joel Alvarez, trouble. Other than that, the guy is 30 years old. He's cross-training at the Fighting Nerds. Not a full nerd, but he's a part-time nerd. Love it.
Does he get just a monocle? He doesn't get the full glasses yet.
He's like Clark Kent. He wears glasses when he's there, and then he puts his contact in.
Oh, okay. I get it.
They're American Top Team. Look, I just don't understand the love for Jared Gordon. Like, where does it come from? Have you not watched this fight? I'm sick of talking about the Patty thing. Like, have Jared and Gordon and Patty fight now, and you tell me how that fight goes.
That's Patty would be minus 1,900.
We're going to crap on him, because it was Patty's second fight in the UFC when he was still eating cake and cookies in between camps.
Yeah.
He had no kids. He wasn't an adult. He was a child. He was acting like a child. So he gets this big win. It's just he's this underdog that everybody loves rooting for. I think Thiago's a better submission grappler. I think he's going to have more pop on his punches. I still have questions about the Jared Gordon chin. I don't think it's been touched really good in a while. And Thiago, say what you will about his striking, he hits hard. I thought his techniques looked very decisive and snappy ever since he's made this move over to the Fighting Nerds. He knows what the game plan is in the cage. He knows his job. We just talked about this last week. Again, if you can tell me what you're going to do, if I can look at you and know you're going to stick to the game plan and know what you're good at, I am in on you as a fighter. I am in. And you know he's going to have one of these guys in the corner. If things go south, they're going to make the adjustments. You're telling me the Fighting Nerds can't come up with a game plan to beat Jared Gordon?
It's a great point.
When they just choked out Bryce Mitchell
with a striker,
kick knocked out Bobby Green? Tell me they don't have a game plan for Jared Gordon. I need to find out how much time he's spending at Fighting Nerds. If, in fact, he is, I am letting this line move, and I will be betting Thiago Moises. If I can find out if he legitimately spent some good time and the Fighting Nerds are going to be in his corner. I think this is the public play that goes down in flames this week. Everybody loves Jared Gordon.
Oh, this is a good parlay buster. I wonder if we can. I don't think it's not parlayable, but man, we would have to make an exception this week. So we move on to Matheus Camilo against Gabe Green. First time seeing Matheus in the UFC. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any of his fights. What say you?
It's more about Gabe Green for me in this fight. Gabe Green is coming off a long layoff and is down at 155. So, I mean, look at is Gabe Green a guy that can shed a ton of weight? It doesn't look like it.
He's pretty cut.
I have to think that we're going to be losing some muscle mass. I have to be thinking that we're going to be losing some fluid on the brain. I mean, to me, until I see how good he looks at weigh-ins, if he looks good or bad, I'm going to assume that he's going to be compromised going into this fight.
Okay.
I just have to. He is not a guy that was carrying around some pudge and you're like, yeah, maybe you should go down to 155. And it's late in your career to be doing it. I mean, we can't look it up on Tapology. I definitely should have looked this up before. But when is the last time this guy has fought at 155? Has he ever fought at 155? These are
Okay.
massive questions. Massive questions. So it is a wait and see for weigh-ins for me. What was it, AJ Cunningham about a month ago, where all we heard was he looks big.
Oh
He
yeah.
looks, oh man, he looks
Yeah.
good. He made the weight, he looked like Skeletor, like freaking Skeletor. So look, you can't take a whole lot away from Camilo when you go down his tape study. It looks like the guy hits hard. Fights, does not like to go backwards. He likes to go forwards. So if Gabe Green can pressure him, I could see it being a problem. But man, with no fluid on that brain, I don't want to be hit by this guy. Not at all.
I wasn't that impressed with Camilo. I really wasn't. You go to decision against, at Tough Enough 139. Okay, the guy was 13-5. Decision against this guy 8-0. And by the way, this guy took him down and held him there for long stretches. Didn't do a whole lot, but that's what I would expect at ZFN2. I don't think he's that good. I think Gabe Green can handle him. So they're going to punish him for losing to Ian Gary and Brian Battle. He fought like an idiot against Brian Battle. They're not going to let him do that again. At least you'd hope not. And he went to decision against Ian Gary. I know it was 2022. Wasn't 10 years ago, though. So before that, we saw his power against Hernandez, Phil Rowe. He went to the distance. Daniel Rodriguez, who was 5 years younger than he is right now. Gabe Green can hit hard, and I'm not impressed with that Camilo guy. So I'll take Gabe Green. I think he's the plus money guy. So I'll happily take that at plus money.
This will be an interesting fight when we get to the scales tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see where we're at.
Yeah. Julian Erosa and Melky Costa. What do you think of this fight?
This fight I have a strong opinion about. You ready to sum up my breakdown, guys? This is going to be a long, drawn-out thing. Let's click on Julian Erosa.
Oh, we're going to click on Julian Erosa.
Yeah, let's click on. We're going to look at his last opponent. This is all I need to know.
Darren Elkins. Yeah.
The shell, not Darren Elkins.
It was bad. Really,
the abandoned hermit crab shell on the beach of Darren Elkins. He was a ghost, and he took Erosa down twice, 2 times. Erosa ended up on the ground. What's going to happen if Melky Costa gets him down? He is shit out of luck. Okay. I love this spot for Costa. Costa's been doing all the right things. Julian Erosa is on a heck of a streak. Love watching him fight. Love betting on him against these bad guys. However, I think his time has come. These 3 wins in a row. He's due to get chin checked. That chin has not gotten any better, and Costa has looked phenomenal. I've loved what I've seen from Costa, so I think Costa finishes this guy inside of 2. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a flash first round knockout. Love Costa in this spot.
Yeah, you're right. The striking defense, Rosa is bad. I went back and was watching. His hands are just always way too low. He gets the win against Ricardo Ramos, guillotine choke, but what you don't see is the reason they were on the ground is Ramos knocked him down and put his neck in there.
Exactly.
What you don't see about the guillotine choke is Chris Rodriguez was on top of him and, got reversed, but Chris Rodriguez was one controlling. Darren Elkins, it is what it is. I'm with you. We thought Costa was going to be in some trouble against Christian Rodriguez. Far from it. He looked really, really good. I like his kicks. I wish he was a little bit more high volume, but he's got great energy. He's got great cardio. I think his striking is just so much better than Erosa's, and I know his striking defense is better. So Rosa is going to be bigger. I feel like he always is. He's just always taller and a little bit bigger. And don't think Costa's going to be that intimidated. I know he's not going to be intimidated by it, but I don't think it's going to cause him any problems. I like Costa as well. We've done well on him the last few fights. We liked him coming off that loss against Steve Garcia. We are like, hey, he got nuked by Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia's been nuking everybody. So,
speaking of which, where's that guy at? We need our Steve Garcia stimulus check.
We need an update. Yeah, Steve Garcia fights not go the distance. Yeah. Yeah, it's milky for me too. We move on to Nursulton Ruziboev versus our boy Dustin Stoltzfus. I know you love you a good Dustin Stoltzfus fight, Jim. What are you expecting in this one?
I do love a good Dustin Stoltzfus fight. I do.
Yeah.
He broke my absolute heart his last time out.
Oh
I
man!
think the other week we talked about the burial fight and what I was doing when Stoltzfus knocked him out. So I mean, I'll never forget it. I'll never be able to eat honey roasted cashews again, knowing that's what I was eating when I was there. Here's the thing with Stoltzfus. The dude just doesn't know how to not get it. Like, if that burial fight lasted a little bit longer and burial didn't get clipped, I firmly believe he was about to get nuked in that fight too. Like, just the guy is a magnet for punches and kicks, and he's come out super aggressive in his last couple here. So, I mean, look at this. We got a round one. We got a round one. It's go big or go home. I thought he was doing good work around Bruno Ferreira, and it took like 5 shots to put him out. But I go back to this Abuse fight. I know everybody talks about it, but it's not about Abuse. It's about the body type in which he fought in that fight. Nursulton is a very limited fighter, but the weapons and tools that he has to beat Stoltzfus are tailor-made for him. Like, if you could build a fighter with the perfect weaponry to beat Dustin Stoltzfus, it's Ruziboev. Height, length, laser straight right hand, laser straight right uppercut, okay? And explosive grappling in the first round. So
Yeah.
I see this as he hurts Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus will shoot for the wrestling. Ruziboev will have the energy to actually stuff the takedown. Keep in mind, this is up from 170 for Ruziboev, so the cardio should check out. Most certainly should have an increase in cardio, and he's still going to be the bigger guy. I've heard that Dustin Stoltzfus is the better wrestler, and yeah, you're probably right. Like, if these two guys got on a wrestling mat, Stoltzfus probably ekes out, you know? But the bottom line is you could punch and hit each other and choke each other out in an MMA fight. And I've seen Dustin Stoltzfus' face be a magnet for techniques. So I like Ruziboev in this spot. I like him by finish. I think he's going to get to Dustin's chin in the first round. And if he doesn't, you're betting Stoltzfus. Maybe he can get through it, but I can't see the poor striking defense holding up against a sniper, which Ruziboev is. He is a sniper, not a brawler. He will hit you from the outside.
Yeah, like Stoltzfus, you're right. He jumps in with no defense, and it just puts his chin. And I can't believe this guy's 16-6 with how like open he is to get hit. And yeah, he broke our hearts against Barrio. I'll never forgive him for being the one to knock out Barrio. Actually, I'll never forgive Barrio for deciding to try and stand a bang against anybody. So.
We can't be mad at Dustin for that. We got to be mad at Mark. You dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Saodiq Yusuff versus Myron Santos. Give Myron Santos a lot of credit. Even he came out and said he didn't think he won the Francis Marshall fight. I don't really know what we're getting here from from Yusuff. Like, he really got beat up bad against Barboza, and then Diego Lopez nukes him. So both these guys terrify me. I think Myron Santos is a questionable 15-1 at best. We knew he was going to knock out Khan awfully, because awfully, as we made the jokes that week, was awful. And Francis Marshall, he just didn't look that good. Even he was surprised that he won. I'll give him credit with that. I don't know. I think Saodiq Yusuff's best days are behind him, but is he tough? Yeah, but now he's coming off of a knockout. But is Myron Santos the one to knock him out? I don't know. I really just can't get to the win on this one. I will have no bets on it. I'll have no strong opinion. Do you have any strong opinions on this?
I have an opinion on this. So, jump reaction last week. If you join us on Takedown Live, we did our look aheads. And the second that the fight was brought up on Takedown Live, it was Saodiq Yusuff all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is why you consume information throughout the week going to fights, guys. Mr. Lang, did you watch Media Day?
No.
Okay, first question asked to Saodiq Yusuff was, Saodiq, where you been? And his response, word for word, was putting my body back together.
Oh, that's great.
He has multiple injuries to his neck and back.
Ooh.
That the options are surgery, and he chose not to. So a lot of stem cell and acupuncture and all kinds of
Wow.
things.
Okay.
2 discs in his back and 1 in his neck. And he's been out because he's had to get them fixed. He's trying to get his body back up. Word for word, he said, I can't survive as a fighter if I'm not 100% healthy. Walking around is hard enough when you're training. Getting into a fist fight is hard when you get older.
Oh, wow.
Eek.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Guys. Listen, I wanted to fade Marion, but after hearing this from Saodiq, here's the other thing. It's up a weight class, and he
Yes.
did not commit to it. They asked him at face-offs. Both these guys are featherweights, but are you committed to 155? And he said, oh, no, I'm not committed to 155. So let's read the tea leaves a little bit. You got a guy who's got back and neck injuries, one of the worst things you can have in MMA, especially if part of your game is wrestling. This fight is at 155 instead of down a weight class. What does that tell you? You put 2 and 2 together, you try to get 4. What does this tell you? He can't make the weight right now.
He's not making weight. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's not making the weight because he's not 100%. And we've said it before. It's a rough life to live. You have to fight to make money. You got to provide for your family.
Yeah.
But look, this is a business for us too. It sounds to me like this guy is injured. Now, I thought the same thing about Daniel Santos last week, and he ended up having cardio to go 15 minutes, albeit against a road to UFC guy. So take this with wherever you may, but I just don't believe that I can just forget about a back injury, multiple back injuries. So I haven't bet it yet. Leaning Santos Santos now.
Yeah, I'll ride with you and trust you, but I can't imagine you would say, "Oh, this is a very, very strong play." Oh, yeah, we got to rush to the window and bet it. Unless that's what you're saying.
We'll talk later.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
We'll talk later.
Okay, all right. Go grab our.
I mean, look, we're talking about
it.
What's that?
Santos. It's like go grab that UFC Gold Pack. We may have a Myron Santos play in that one. So no, I was not aware of all those injuries. So
yeah, I wasn't either, and it caught me a little bit by surprise this morning. So I want to do my due diligence tonight. But hey, look, guys, consume information. Don't consume too much. But when you hear something like injuries, you hear Andy just spoke about it today on Wager Talk today. We look at things outside of the cage.
Yes.
And this fits right into that wheelhouse. Right into that wheelhouse. So do your research.
Let's go on to Paul Craig and Rodolfo Bellato. I do not have a lot of questions in this fight. I'll let you go first.
Well, Paul is moving up to light heavyweight. Not like those late career weight moves. They always work out so well.
At least he's not fighting a hard hitter.
Look, shout out to Mr. Bubbles, one of our best friends. Loves himself some Paul Craig. If you ever want to go in the archives, you can look at the Takedown Live where we painted our faces like Paul Craig in honor of Mr. Bubbles. So shout out to him. Paul Craig is in deep trouble. Let's put it that way. I don't think he's going to be able to get the takedown. I know Bellato's not good, but if this stays on the feet for any extended period of time, Paul Craig is going to gas out, first of all, and he's going to get clipped and hit and put down. The man got outstruck by Bo Nickel. Okay? The man got knocked out by Kyle Barallo. Kyle Barallo, the master of the game plan, said, all I got to do is not play on the ground. I'm going to knock this guy out. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Brendan Allen smokes him. Just smokes him. Andre Muniz. What did we just see? He beat Andre Muniz. Andre Muniz is bad, okay, guys? He is bad. Losing to Johnny Walker. It was back in 2023. Bad look. I mean, you can go on and on and on. I just think Paul is done with his career. Somebody brought up a great thing too. How Paul Craig said, I only want to fight to a certain age, and he was real hard, like dead set on it. And he's like 3 years past it already. So like he's not fighting, because he has this big passion. I think he's got his only option. Like,
yeah,
he's not getting to the title.
no.
So I think, look, Bellato's very susceptible. I think he nukes Craig. I think he keeps it on the feet. Even if he gets taken down, I think he can get back up. And on the feet, at some point, Paul Craig is going to get clipped.
Well, so Bellato's biggest weakness to me is his chin. You're basically fighting the perfect matchup for that. You didn't have to worry about Paul Craig clipping him. So Bellato's got clipped against Tecia, gets back up, gets the finish. So when you say get the takedown, Paul Craig hasn't wrestled successfully in years. That's not part of his game. So I think it's Bellato. I think it's Bellato by KO. Again, we always recommend inside the distance because isn't it the most frustrating thing when a guy knocks somebody down and he jumps on his neck and gets a submission? It happens all the time, way more than you think. And then don't forget, Carlos Olberg has a submission win on his resume. So you're much better off taking inside the distance as opposed to trying to pick KO. But yeah, you're right. Bellato probably puts Paul Craig out. I don't think this one's competitive. The books would tell you this next fight's not competitive. Gilbert Burns, massive underdog against up and coming. Well, he's not up and coming. He's here. 17-0, Michael Morales. This guy's probably a few fights away from a title shot. He's entering his physical prime, minus 850, probably up to minus 900 on this one. Gilbert Burns, I think he did turn 40. Right?
I believe so.
It says 38.
Oh, he's not 40.
Instead 30, so he's not 40 yet. So, all right, he's still aging, been through a lot of wear and tear. I'm assuming this is Michael Morales all day and every day till Sunday, right?
This is Michael Morales. If I could look like a real idiot after saying this, and so be it, that's the business that we chose. If I have to hear one more time that there is value on Gilbert Burns,
your favorite word, value
at plus 550, I am going to pull my freaking hair out. Okay? Value means nothing when the bet loses. All I heard was there's value on Gilbert against Jack. What happened? He lost. Okay, click on Gilbert's profile here. Let's talk about all the times that there was value and the sub was live. That's my favorite one too.
Sub was live.
Gilbert. The sub was live with Gilbert. Value against Sean Brady. Sean Brady didn't look good in the fight before. Smoked. Jack Miller, there's value on Gilbert. Smoked. Oh, he's fighting Belal. If Belal can't smoked. Okay. He beats George Masvidal, who couldn't be more checked out in his MMA career.
Oh, yeah.
Way back when he beats Neil Magny. All right. Decent win, but Magny's no prime fighter like Morales is.
The all-time gatekeeper. All-time.
Gets smoked.
I mean, he's so much of a gatekeeper, we probably need to stop calling it a gatekeeper and just call it a Magny.
A Magny, yeah.
He's the Magny of the division, or she's the Magny. I mean,
he should go into the UFC Hall of Fame for that.
Just for that, absolutely.
The gatekeeper division, the section of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you want to fight the best guys?
Yeah.
Here's Neil Magny.
Let's look at some guys that fought everybody and never.
He's like a bouncer. He's the guy that Magnus is the guy that checks IDs at the private club. So anyway, keep going.
This Gilbert Burns of 2021 who beat Stephen Thompson just does not exist anymore. I've spoken about this a lot this year. The beginning of the year, I said it was a year of change. It's just to the point where our favorite fighters are all old, just like us. Okay? I can vividly remember watching Forrest Griffin with not a gray hair in my head. All right, out at a bar. Now I'm home changing diapers and feeding bottles and plenty of gray. We're all old, including these fighters. 6 fights ago, it's just not the same guy. Not the same guy. I think he's a sitting duck against Morales. He's had injuries. He's into podcasting. He's part owner, I believe, of a company as well. A lot of things going on outside the ring. He spoke at the press conference today about this isn't about winning for him. I hate when I hear from an MMA fighter that it's not about winning. It's about doing my best.
Oh, wow.
I want to show a good fight. You don't care about winning. Well, the good fight is you winning the damn fight. If you don't want to win anymore, get out.
Yeah,
Just
that works at rec league sport. This is the UFC. You're in a co-main event. What do you mean you want
even
to go out there and
you're
do your
telling me a
best?
pickup basketball game, guys just want to show up
Just
and
want to do
just
your best?
no, you want to win. That's why you play sports, because you're competitive. That's why you get into fighting, because you're competitive. And I just hearing that really makes me alarmed as far as Gilbert. I think Michael Morales walks through this guy. I don't see, other than a fluke submission in round one, there being any kind of a problem with Morales. Wasn't this fight rescheduled as well? I believe they were training for this fight in January.
Well, I mean,
Morales said in January he was training for this fight.
yeah, it only got
January,
moved
February,
like a
March.
little bit. So it wasn't like there was an injury at least I don't think. I didn't take too much into it.
Well, you do know that Gilbert Burns pushed the fight back because something was wrong with him.
Yeah,
So
whatever. I guess here's another one that I'm kind of sick of and tired about hearing. Like, oh, the sub's live. Is it?
sub ain't live.
He's got one sub win. He subbed a guy in grappling. Like, where's all these sub wins? He got it against Neil Magny, but I don't know. I'm scrolling down here. I see knockout. I see it a grappling match. You got to go back to 2019 and Mike Davis. So
Yeah.
where's these like
And keep in mind that's a lightweight.
Yeah. Where are these phantom like submission things? And by the way, Michael Morales is really damn hard to take down. He's good in the clinch. He's just getting stronger and better, and I think he runs through Gilbert as well. Gilbert's going to be a little frisky in the first round, I think. But that's the other thing. Can we talk about how the changing of the narrative? So last week it was Jack beat
Yes,
Jack
please
beat
talk
Gilbert
about
Jack beat Gilbert with a broken arm. What an animal! Now this week it's like, well, he lost, but he was winning. Gilbert was winning before that. Like what is it? You got to pick one.
Gilbert
it
was
a
winning
great?
2-0 and get knocked out by a guy with a broken arm.
Yeah.
Is that a thumbs up or a thumbs down situation?
That's what I mean. You got to pick one. Like credit to Jack or
Yep.
darn, Gilbert almost had him. You can't like change it after the fact. So yes, Gilbert's best days are behind him. I don't expect him to be that competitive after the first round and a half. And the other thing is when they got on the ground, Gilbert couldn't do much. He didn't land a whole lot of significant strikes. And Morales is just a tank, man. This guy's a beast. He's checked all the boxes. And what we love about him is he gets better every single time we see him step into the octagon. So I don't even really know who his coaches are, but they are doing a damn good job. And keep
Well,
doing.
Entram Gym is the gym in Mexico.
Okay.
So that would be
yeah, I don't know who is
Brandon Moreno's and Grasso and Diego Lopez,
okay.
I believe.
Okay, yeah.
I believe. Don't quote me on that, but
whoever's working with him, they're doing the right thing because he gets the win against Fugit, and then that was a tough match against Max Griffin. Max Griffin likes to clinch, and he won that one. Then he goes in against Jake Matthews and does what he's supposed to do, and it was like, okay, yeah, a couple decision wins, and then he goes in and just pedal to the metal.
Does exactly what a title to contender should do.
That's what we like. Yeah, that's what we like. Just blitzed him, knocked him out, overpowered him. It wasn't even close. So, yeah, I think I love the trend that Morales is on. I love that he gets better each fight. And, yeah, like if this was 3 rounds, okay, maybe you could talk yourself into a champ. This gets round 4 or 5. I don't even care that I haven't seen a Michael Morales 5-round fight. I already know he's going to have more energy and cardio than Gilbert Burns.
Well, that's what drives me nuts is that's a question. Like, oh, but Morales hasn't been 5. Technically, neither has Gilbert because he hasn't looked great in 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and Michael
maybe
Morales
a 5-round fight, but Gilbert only went 3.
Yeah, Michael Morales is 26, and I'll take him over the 38, 39-year-old. So, all right, guys. Once again, just want to remind everyone, we do have our UFC Gold Pack that is up. We encourage you to go get that over at wagertalk.com. Get you all of our plays for this card. Number 1 in profits. Like, this is how you build bankrolls, guys. These are bets that we bet with our own money. If you guys follow us in the Winning in the Shadows Discord, which if you don't, I'll put the link in the description. I'll also put it in the comment section. We have a chart, shows our bankroll. We started with $10,000. 92 weeks later, we're at 65,000. I don't know why you wouldn't be following these plays. So we document everything in our Discord, and we're number one since the beginning of 2025. We've held on to that number one spot this year. We're really proud of that. So go grab that. Yeah, go grab that over wagertalk.com. Let's talk woulda, coulda, shoulda, and parlay buster. There's a lot of big favorites that I'm sure are going to be in a lot of people's parlays. Which one? Well, there's a few. Which one trips everyone up?
Parlay buster. Look, I got to go to the public bet of the week, and that's Jared Gordon. I can't buy into the Jared Gordon hype. I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
see it. Right now, he's the favorite. I don't know if he's going to be super parlayed, but I can tell you this right now. People are going to try to get these minus 455s down. It wouldn't shock me to see like a Jared Gordon with
DelValle, Morales.
Denise Gomes.
Morales.
Morales. So something along those lines. Just to get it under minus 200 or something.
Okay.
I think all the love for Jared Gordon is misplaced.
If I have to try and pick one that's a favorite, Park, I think is going to be a big mistake. I think you're going to be pretty disappointed in that second round if he's not looking good against Carlos Hernandez. But yeah, I'm having a tough time finding a pretty thick parlay piece that really sticks out. I'm with you though that Jared Gordon is the one that I think could really, really be a disaster for some people. So now let's flip it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
This one's tough.
Yeah,
there's one. There's a lot.
Yeah. There's a few of them. What's one on a playable number that we're just going to be sitting there going, man, why didn't we play that huge?
I mean, you could go Rodolfo Pilato by KO over Paul Craig. By finish over Paul Craig. You can go Michael Morales by finish over Gilbert. We can go down this list. I'm going to go to the first fight of the night.
Okay.
I will be absolutely kicking my own teeth in if I don't make money off fading the fact that Luana Pinheiro has a hard time going 3 rounds.
I love it.
Without even getting hit, just quitting herself. Giving up. Tecia Pennington by finish is plus 600. I know it's a shot, but I think this is her last fight in the UFC if she takes a loss, and I will be sick if I don't make money off fading her bad cardio and bad fight passion.
Okay. All right. I think we're going to be really, really pissed off if we don't make a killing on Yadier DelValle over Connor Mathews. Like you said, his days are numbered. His fights in the UFC are numbered. We have to take advantage of these right now. And if somehow Connor Mathews wins, great. Maybe they give us more fights with him. But yeah, Yadier DelValle, I know we've been fading the Contender Series guys. This guy's a real deal. And correct me if I'm wrong, Connor Mathews is probably the easiest matchup that any Contender Series guy has had.
A fighter in the UFC, I can't think of
a worse one that a Contender Series
It's
guy
hard
got.
to, man. It's really hard.
Yeah. So, all right. That's going to be my, DelValle by finish is going to be my woulda, coulda, shoulda. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm out. Appreciate you guys. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Tell us who you like. Give us some of your best bets. And as always, we will be doing Takedown live on Saturday at the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. Join us. A lot of live bets, a lot of fun. And even though this isn't a great card, it's always fun to watch with a bunch of people and cash some live bets. So it's going to do it for us, guys. Good luck in your plays, and we'll see everyone later.
Good luck, everyone.